Human rights groups in Hong Kong say they're still going ahead with another mass demonstration despite the government postponing debate on a controversial extradition bill. The island's CEO hasn't put a date on when the bill will return to Parliament, but activists say it could be within 2 weeks. Sky News reporter Siobhan Robbins is there.
This was a concession, but it certainly wasn't a surprise. Carrie Lam has been under pressure to make some sort of announcement about this bill, and today she really took the easiest option that she had to say that it was on hold indefinitely. What it isn't is withdrawn. So she said that essentially since the violent protests that we saw here on Wednesday, that the situation had become very difficult. She was worried that more violence would be carried out, people would be seriously hurt, and that they had to listen to the public. So she said they were essentially going back to the drawing board. They'd talk about it more and they'd discuss it further in the future. What hasn't happened, though, as I say, is it hasn't been withdrawn. This is not a complete step down by the leader who remained defiant. This bill has spread fear and sparked some of the worst violent protests on this city's streets since the handover. Are you going to apologise to the people for the damage that you and this bill has caused?
I confess that we have not been as effective as we would like to communicate with the people to justify this very good objectives that is worth doing. And at the same time, there are other factors and other circumstances that have given rise to some anxiety and fear and concern. So the best way forward is to pause and think, and to find opportunities and time to see whether we could still reach that good objective as laid down in the bill.
So she wasn't apologising there. She certainly wasn't admitting that she was wrong. She believes the reasons behind why they need this bill stands. What she is doing is basically giving the city some breathing space. The question is, will it work? And actually, from opponents and protesters that I've spoken to, I don't think it will. Tomorrow there's going to be another mass protest. It's planned for this area again. It was here on Wednesday that we saw lines and lines of police firing rounds and rounds of tear gas here as they and violent protesters clashed. I've spoken to some of the protesters who are involved in that violence. They say they will also be back here tomorrow. The problem now for Carrie Lam is this argument in this city has become about so much more than a bill. It's now about a real fear by an angry and mobilised youth movement that their freedoms, the freedoms they cherish, are going to be lost.